What is up, guys? The Denver Broncos show. Evan here, back again. Here to give you guys my recap for the Broncos 17-14 loss to the Tennessee Titans. We fell to 1-2 with this loss. It's pretty much like the same team, different year, if you will. 1-2 again for the second year in a row now. Tough way to lose this game. I thought for the most part we outplayed the Titans, and I thought we were the better team on Sunday, but not taking any credit away from the Titans. They made some plays when they needed to, and that they ended up getting the W. So props to the Titans. Congratulations to them and all their fans here on YouTube, and best of luck to you guys the rest of the way for your season this year. But for us, just a tough way to lose this game. A game I thought we kind of let slip away. Looking at some of the good things though, I thought that we did in this game. I thought we limited the penalties in this game, and that was great to see. Only had one penalty for 15 yards. Showed pretty good discipline for the most part. Really didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, so to say, that much in this game, and I was really happy to see us cut down the penalties. Week 1 against Oakland, we had 10 penalties. Last week against the Bengals, we had 7 penalties. And this week, we only have 1. Good to see that we cut it down, and we've improved on our discipline there, and we weren't making that many mental mistakes. That was the thing I was happy to see, us limiting the penalties. I thought our run defense once again was good. Held the Titans to only 38 yards rushing. They had 23 carries total in the game, only for 38 yards rushing, as I mentioned before. Once again, our run defense stepping up. The Titans have a pretty good offensive line. They like to run the ball a lot, and I thought we did a great job of containing their run game and stopping their run game, and that was great to see. And Chris Johnson only had 13 carries for 21 yards, so I thought we did a good job of containing him for the most part, but he still was pretty effective in the passing game. I think he had like 4 catches for 50 yards or something, but still, we did a great job containing him. He had really no gaps to run through, and we did a great job of beating up the Titans' offensive line at the point of the attack for the most part, and getting in the backfield and disrupting a lot of the Titans' run plays. And defensively, we finally forced a couple turnovers. We had 2 forced fumbles in this game. That was great to see. And I thought overall our defense played well for the most part, and I don't think you can blame them for this loss. So those were some of the positives that I thought came out of this game. Look at some of the plays that the Titans had through the air. They had a 58-yard catch, a 34-yard catch, a 22-yard catch, and a 19-yard catch. I mean, just making big play after big play through the air. And that really hurt us in this game. Like I said, Hasselbeck was phenomenal, and that really hurt us. Jonathan Wilhite kind of looked lost in coverage at times. So did Cassius Vaughn, and the loss of Champ Bailey is really showing these past 2 weeks. So hopefully we can get Champ back for this week against Green Bay. But that was something that really hurt us. We contained the Titans' rushing offense, but really gave up a ton of big plays through the air, and that hurt us big time here. I thought our third down defense was not very good in this game. We had a great week last week against the Bengals where our third down defense was awesome. But this week against the Titans, it was not good at all. We just couldn't get a stop on third down. The Titans were 8 of 15 on their third down conversions. That's a little over 50%. I mean, that's way too high from a defensive standpoint, and we got to do a better job of stopping the opposing team on third down. So that was another big thing that hurt us in this game. And like I mentioned before, I thought the biggest problem for us was the big plays we gave up through the air. As I mentioned, Matt Hasselbeck was awesome. He went 27 of 36 for 311 yards, 2 touchdowns, had a QB rating of 119.1. I mean, he looked like Peyton Manning out there, and we didn't do a good job of getting pressure on him for the most part. I mean, we did have 2 sacks in this game, but we really didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Hasselbeck. He had a lot of time to sit there in the pocket and dissect the defense, and you saw him do that here. And we just gave up way too many big plays through the air, and that really hurt us here in this game. The biggest reason I think we lost is we went for it there on it was 4th and goal, about on the half-yard line, the 1-yard line, and we couldn't punch it in there with Willis McGahee. The Titans got a good jump on our O-line and stopped McGahee short of the end zone, and we turned the ball over there. If you settle for the field goal there, it ends up being 17-17 game. You go into OT. Who knows what happened there? Or if you can actually punch it in there, you end up winning the game. And I think that was obviously the biggest play of the game that gave the Titans all the momentum in this game, and that was probably the biggest reason why we lost. The fact that our O-line couldn't get just enough of a push to get McGahee, in the end zone from, like I said, the half-yard line, 1-yard line. That's pathetic, and that was really disappointing to see, and that ultimately cost us the game there. I'll get into some individual performances here for the Broncos, some guys that I thought played well for the most part, and just talking about some performances that stuck out to me. Wilson McGahee, he finished up in this game with 22 carries, 52 yards. Averaged 2.4 yards per carry. I think I give McGahee credit for at least grinding out 52 yards with as bad as our O-line was. Like I said, McGahee really didn't have any gaps or holes through, so I think got to give him credit for grinding out those 52 yards. But for the most part, we really didn't run the ball with any effect at all in this game. But I don't think you can blame Willis for that. Looking at what Kyle Orton did in this game, he goes 24-39 for 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, has a QB rating of 67.6. Overall, I thought Orton was pretty average in this game. I don't think he was awful, but he was very far from being good in this game. Very inconsistent in this game was Orton. Made a lot of errant throws in this game, but also made some pretty solid throws as well. And was just inconsistent. And that's something that Kyle Orton has got to improve on, is his consistency week in and week out. If he can play like he did against the Bengals and we can get that Orton week in and week out, we'll be fine. But the Kyle Orton that we got against the Raiders and here against the Titans, we're not going to win much games when he plays like that. So I thought Orton was average. I don't think you can blame this loss on him. I mean, obviously you don't like the 2 picks, can't turn the ball over like that. But I wouldn't say he was awful. He was just average. Made a lot of poor decisions, a lot of poor throws. Was like I said, very inconsistent, and that's something that he's going to have to improve on for the rest of the season, is his consistency. Then you got Eric Decker. I thought had a solid game. 7 catches, 48 yards for Decker. I thought he was decent. Daniel Fells, who's kind of stepped up as a nice receiving threat for us at the tight end position, had 2 catches for 42 yards in this game. Had the longest catch of the day, which was a 32-yard reception from Kyle Orton. And Brandon Lloyd in his return was okay, 4 catches for 38 yards for him. But overall, we were just kind of ineffective as an offense. Weren't that effective through the air. Our O-line, was really awful in the run block, as I mentioned before, and really weren't effective in the run game as well. And I thought for the most part we were still outplaying Tennessee, as bad as we were offensively in this game, as poor as we were offensively, and as inconsistent as we were offensively. We still, I thought had this game and kind of let us slip away there. Defensively, like I said, for the most part, we played very well. Wesley Woodyard had another great game, 10 tackles for him. Really stepped up in this game once again. Last week had 13 tackles, this week had 10 tackles. Good to see Woodyard playing with a little consistency, and he was really very active in this game. Joe Mays, another good game from him, 8 tackles for him. Jonathan Wilhite had 6 tackles and another sack, which was good to see. But the biggest problem I had with Wilhite in this game is he got lost in coverage a lot. I thought there was a lot of blown coverages in this game by our defense, which led to the Titans making so many big plays through the air, and Matt Hasselbeck having such a great game. That was the big reason for that, is just a lot of the blown assignments defensively, and like I said, a lot of blown coverages on our part. Wilhite looked lost a couple times in this game. There was one play in particular where I think it was like almost an all-out blitz by us. We got right in Matt Hasselbeck's face, and he literally just threw the ball up, for grabs. It should have been a pick, and Wilhite, I don't know who ended up catching the ball. I want to say Nate Washington caught it. Wilhite was covering Nate Washington, and it was right there for Wilhite to intercept, and Nate Washington somehow ends up getting the ball and catching the ball in a play that was just a terrible throw by Matt Hasselbeck, a real dangerous throw by him. He just threw it up for anybody to go and get it. Wilhite, like I said, was on the coverage there on that play and allowed, I think it was Nate Washington, to make the catch. That was just awful there, and a lot of mistakes like that and blown coverages like that really hurt us in this game. Von Miller, I also thought, had another good outing, 4 tackles for him and a sack. Good to see him get another sack. That's 2 sacks in 3 weeks now for Von Miller. Hopefully he can have another one this week against Green Bay. I thought he was pretty good as well. Made some plays, had the forced fumble there on Matt Hasselbeck, and played really well for the most part. I think defensively, you got to give our guys a lot of credit. They played really well. That a well-called game from Dennis Allen, but a lot of blown coverages defensively hurt us, and the loss of Champ Bailey has definitely shown the past 2 weeks against Tennessee and Cincinnati. We've given up way too many plays through the air, and offensively just were not effective at all this game. So thought we let this game slip away. I'll move on to take on Green Bay this week. Not much I really need to say about that game. If we are within 10 points of Green Bay, I'll be satisfied. I mean, Green Bay's a way better team pretty much everywhere. They're the best team of football in my opinion, and I think they're going to crush us. I really have no clue how we beat Green Bay unless Green Bay just gets penalized every play and turns the ball over 5-6 times in the game. We have really little to no chance of beating them, and I don't look forward to playing Green Bay this week. I think it's going to be an embarrassing loss for us. So that's my long game recap. Hopefully you guys stick with me. Enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys after the Green Bay game, and a game that is probably going to be a loss for us. So take care, guys, and as always, go Broncos.